Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining for the second part of our introduction series to the NaviCenta, the disease map for placental dysfunctions. In this video, we're going to get into everything you can do with the NaviCenta without having an account. So let's jump in. So I've opened the web browser and I'm going to paste the link to the NaviCenta and hit enter. This will direct you directly to the NaviCenta. And this is what you can see when you enter. In the middle, you will have a number of selected networks that are visible upon entry. You can already browse them, so you can zoom in using your mouse and zoom out. You can also use these little symbols, the plus to zoom in, the minus to zoom out, whatever you find more comfortable. Let's zoom out a little bit. In general, on the left-hand side, you have a navigation panel where you have the tabs Search, Overlays, Submaps, and Info. In the Search tab, you can type in whatever entity you're interested in. So let's give this a try. I will zoom in, just so you can also see that you can find the entities. Let's try this one. So it doesn't matter how you, like capital, minor, it doesn't matter. And it will give you options containing the string that you enter here. So let's go with the first one. I click on it, and it will highlight the entity in your map. It will also give you on the left-hand side an overview of where, if there's other maps where this entity is included. So right now we're on the base map, but it is also in the map mitochondria. You can click on this and it will open this network for you. And you can again zoom in or out and select entities. The entities are fully annotated. So if you click on them on the left side, it will open some information about the entity. So now we know it's a protein. You will have the label. It will tell you what compartment it is in, if it is in a compartment, and some other information. It will also give you annotations that will link you to other databases where you can find more information. So you can click on them and it will open in a new tab. Let's go back to the NaviCenta. So that is the search panel. When you go to overlays, you can change the way everything is visualized. So the default is pathways and compartments, which means, let's close this for a second to make this easier to see. I will zoom out a little bit. So here, for example, you can see a compartment. If I zoom further out, you can see there's another compartment. I zoom in and I will see more detail. If I select network, so I click on the little lens symbol next to it, these compartments will disappear. So I'll go back so you can see the difference. If you want even less colors, you can select empty. I click on the lens again and it will take away the colors. I can zoom in. I can still navigate everything as before. I can click on the entities and the information about them will pop up on the left-hand side here. I'll close this again. Personally, I quite like the pathways and compartments view. It helps me navigate and tell me what's what. So to clarify, we can go to the legend. So if you go to the top of the window and then to the right, you can check legend and the legend opens. So here, for example, I see immediately, okay, this looks like this. It's a protein. Of course, I can also click on it and it will tell me here. But sometimes it's easier to kind of tell by color and shape. So this is a phenotype. Let's click on it. It's a phenotype. It will also give you some information about complexes. So here, for example, you can group proteins or entities in general in complexes. Let's go back. And you can group your information, the content according to compartments. So compartment, I will click this away to make it easier to see. The compartment can be functional, but it can also be what we as scientists are more used to see when we hear compartments. So in this case, let's move out. It's a nucleoid. In this case, okay, it's a nucleus. So in this case, it's a nucleoid. If we move further out, you can see, okay, this is a mitochondrion. But here, for example, we have one compartment saying reactive oxygen species pathway. So that's pathways that are important for reactive oxygen signaling. As an example, that would be a functional compartment. If we go back to this navigation panel and we move further to the right, we can see submaps. If we click on that, we have the full list of networks available. And you can open those by clicking on the little lens here. I will move it to the right, click on the lens, and it will open this network, which again, you can browse and select entities if you're interested. You can not only select entities, you can also select directions. It will tell you what kind of reaction it is. You can also see this in the legend. So let's go back to the legend, top right. Check it, and it opens the legend. Let's move to the next page of the legend. And here you will have more information about the reactions. Let's close this again, uncheck legend, and zoom out a little bit. And close this window. You can also move to the Info tab. Here you can download all the networks. So everything you can find here. Let's open a few. So you can open them on top of each other. If your screen is big enough, you can place them next to each other, which is a nice feature. And in the Info tab next to it, you can download all of them. You can also have a look at the manual, which is a more in-depth description of how Minerva works. Minerva is the platform where the NaviCenta is hosted. Let's go back to the NaviCenta. And you have here the overview. So if I click on that, a more graphic overview opens. So you have a time scale along gestational age. So it's given in weeks. On the left-hand side, you have healthy placentation. On the right, you have preeclamptic placentation. As you can see, we don't have that much on the preeclamptic side because not that much is known yet. Whereas on the healthy side, a lot of signaling pathways that are important are already known. So if you zoom in here, you will not be able to see the networks. However, you can actually click on the networks you're interested in and then browse them again as before. I find this very useful, especially because it tells me whereabout I am along gestational age. The difference between NaviCenta use with an account and without an account is the use of plugins. So if you click on the hamburger symbol here, you get the options plugins and API docs. Let's click on plugins. And this is where you put in the URL for the plugin and then load it. So this only really works if you have an account and are logged in, which you would do next to the hamburger symbol here. The account is free, so you can email us. The email is in the video description, and we can make an account for you so you can use the plugins. In the next video, we will show you one of the plugins and how it works. So see you there.